Now, if you go to the South Carolina coast, the Georgia coast, anywhere where there's a lot of fresh but fried seafood, you're gonna find Hushpuppies. Now, I'm not talking about the shoes. There's a lot of those at the beach too. I'm talking about these little fried balls of deliciousness, typically made with like a sweet cornbread type of mix, and then fried to a crispy brown deliciousness. These things are absolutely awesome. If you've never had them, here's your chance. I'm gonna show you how to make them. I'm gonna show you how to make them low carb. And if you got a barking dog around you and you give them one of these, you'll know why they call them Hushpuppies. That'll make them quiet for just a little bit. If they're whining for food, this will make that puppy hush. Anyway, I'm gonna show you how to make them right after this. Now, I've seen and tried a lot of recipes for keto Hushpuppies, and I never really found any that I liked. So I needed to come up with something. I've taken a couple of different recipes that I made in the past, like my keto cornbread recipe and a couple other things, kind of threw them all together, and they came out absolutely delicious. So next time you're having a fish fry or you're having a country fried steak and you want something to fry up to, make some of these Hushpuppies. You're absolutely gonna love them. But enough about making the dogs quiet. Let's go over in the kitchen and let me show you what you need to put together some Hushpuppies. The first thing you're gonna need for these Hushpuppies is some almond flour. Now, you could substitute like a macadamia nut flour, or you could substitute several different things, but to me, if you can have almonds, that's what you need to use. It comes out the best. And you only need 1 cup of it. The next thing you're gonna need is some coconut flour. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of this, and this is important for the consistency of it. I wouldn't substitute anything else for that. The next thing you're gonna need is some of this Splenda Magic Baker's blend. You need 1.5 tablespoons. You can use your favorite sweetener, but I've found this one, to me, has the best ingredients and the best taste. Then you're gonna need an onion. You're gonna need 3/4 cup of it. I like the sweet onions from my neighbors down in Georgia, but use whatever kind of onion that you like. Then you're gonna need some heavy whipping cream. You need 1/4 cup of it. That is gonna be the secret. Well, not the secret. This is the secret. It's this cornbread extract, and I'll leave a link down below if you haven't made my cornbread before. If you have, you probably got some in the cabinet. If not, I'll leave a link so you can pick it up. You definitely need it for it to taste like Hushpuppies. And you'll only need 1/4 teaspoon of it unless you want to get real corny with it. Then you're gonna need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. It doesn't have to be this double acting, but why not? Then you're gonna need an egg, but don't put it in whole. You're gonna need to beat that piece up. You're gonna need about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and this is Redmond's real salt. Use that or the pink Himalayan. And then get yourself some good olive oil to fry in. Now, don't worry about what you've always heard, that you can't fry in olive oil. Listen, I hadn't burned my kitchen down yet. It doesn't smoke. It's perfect. And don't even attempt this recipe without a yellow mixing bowl. It just ain't gonna taste right. Anyway, go ahead and go in with that almond flour. And then we'll go in with the coconut flour as well. We're just gonna start mixing all of these dry ingredients together. So the next thing I'll put in is my sweetener. And then we'll go in with a little bit of that baking powder. Baking powder. Now, y'all all too young to remember that. You don't know what I'm talking about right there. Anyway, Wayne's World, if you've ever seen it. I'll go in next with a little bit of that Redmond's real salt, just to bring out all the flavors in these Hushpuppies. I mean, salt is life. Well, other than bacon. Bacon's life too, but no bacon in here. So anyway, just take and whisk this up together, and you could take a little fine mesh strainer or whatever the fancy people call it and sift it through there if you want, but hey, doing it this way, I don't get any lumps and bumps, and hey, it saves me from washing that. Now I'm just gonna dice up my onion, and I use this chopper on just about everything just because it's so easy to clean up. So I'll just run it through the small setting one time, chop it all up. It's super easy, especially if you got any joint pain or anything like that. It's really great to use. Or if your knife skills just ain't up to par like mine. Either way, I'll put it down in the description if you want to pick one up. And I'm wanting to get a real fine dice here, so I just put them on a plate, and I'm gonna run them through one more time, just to make them a little bit smaller. I want them real fine for these Hushpuppies. So I just keep running them all through like that until I get a perfect tiny dice. And I know you didn't want to see me chop all these onions, but I just want to show you how easy it is in case you want to pick one of these up. They're super inexpensive and they just save you a ton of time. So I'm all about that. Now that we got those onions chopped up, we just got to fix our egg. All we got to do is crack this piece, put it in a little ramekin or whatever you got. Hey, and if you drop a little shell in there, just take the rest of the eggshell and it kind of acts like a magnet. It'll pick it right up and get it out of there for you. Nobody wants a crunchy little eggshell bonus in their hush puppy. At least, I don't think so. So now we'll take our yellow bowl with all the things in it and we'll just add in those fine diced onions right in there. And then you can add in an egg. Just pour it right in there. We're going to start mixing this piece up. As soon as we add our secret ingredient, which is that corn extract. Now don't tell your non-keto people about this. This is the secret. It's going to make it taste like Hushpuppies and they'll be none the wiser. And then last, but certainly not least, we're going to put in some beautiful heavy cream. Man, this is going to bring it together. This is what you want. This is going to bring the flavors that you need to this hush puppy. Man, if you're going to try these hush puppies and you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it, and anytime I make anything like this or anything at all, you'll know about it. Ooh-wee! I could mix this up and eat it with a spoon because I'm just that impatient. But I'm going to wait. Did you just catch that? Did you see what just happened? Somebody let me know. I'm just going to mix it up nice and then I'll show you what to do next. And just mix it up real good. You'll see all those ingredients getting incorporated together. And it just comes together like a nice dough. This is the point where we're ready to move on to the next part. So now I'm going to take my little cookie scooper and I'm going to go in and I'm going to scoop out some of these hush puppies. Now I'm doing this just to make sure we've got a uniform size for these, because when you're frying stuff, you want to make sure you got the same size on there, or some of them are going to be overcooked, some will be undercooked. And if you're good enough with a spoon, you can just use a spoon. Just make sure they're all about the same size. This will ensure that they are. Then once I've got them all scooped out onto the plate, I'm just going to take them and roll them between my hands like this. I do that the same way I do my meatballs. And by the way, if you haven't seen the old meatball video, it's an older one, so you may not have, but the recipe is absolutely delicious. The video might not be good. Hey, this one might not be good either, but I mean, I feel like it's a little better than they were. But anyway, just roll them up like this. Make sure they're nice and tight, because we're going to go and fry them next, and we want to make sure that they're proper. And now I'm just going to take some good olive oil. I'm going to turn my hex-clad pan. This is the big one. This is the 12-inch frying pan. And I'm just going to put, an inch or two of oil in there. You want to make sure that it's enough to where when you put the hush puppies in there, that they'll be halfway covered at least. So just put enough in there where you can fry in it, and don't worry about wasting that oil, because if you're anything like me, you'll fry up something else too. Ideally, you want to get to 350 degrees at least, but I'm going to show you can go a little bit over. Do you see any smoke? Do you see my whole kitchen exploding? Do you see me needing to redecorate my kitchen? Well, never mind. Don't answer that. I probably do. Anyway, once that oil's hot, just take these one at a time and just drop it right in there, and it should bubble up just like that. Now, if you want, you can take a spoon or one of those little spider things and gently lower them down in there. I just like to live dangerously. I'm a little risky like that, so I'm just going to pop them right in. It didn't kill me. And guess what? If you got a pan this size, you can cook them all at one time. If you got a deep fryer, you can do it with that too. Now, I'm not risky enough to put my hand in there and pull them out, so I will use a slotted spoon just to go in and flip them over after just a couple minutes. Once you see them getting a little brown like that on the sides, you know it's time to flip them. You don't want to burn them or anything, but this browns up perfectly using that almond flour. So once you see how it's halfway up, brown like that, just go ahead and flip them over and they're going to come out just right. I'm kind of guessing on this, but I'm going to say they cook for about 3 minutes a side. Don't hold me to it. One thing about southern cooking and frying, you just got to watch it and you got to know when it's ready. So just keep kind of rolling those around, flip it over one time, and you should be good right after that. Once you are, just check them, Make sure it's all the way brown, and then we'll take them out and put them right onto the paper towel. Now, if you do want to add a little extra salt or some other seasoning, now's the time. They're real vulnerable as soon as they come out of the oil. Season them now, and they'll be proper. And we had a little fish fry that night, so I served it right alongside some fried fish, some fried okra. That's what I'm saying. You use that oil, you can fry so many things with it. You can use it the next day. It'll stay good for a couple days, so don't worry. Now this might be weird, but I'll serve it with a little bit of my homemade ketchup like that to dip it in, because, hey, that's just the way I am. A little ketchup never hurt anybody. So I know you're gonna make these, and I know you need a couple of things to make with them, so check these 2 videos out and put yourself together a nice southern fried meal. And don't worry, this southern fried food is healthy. Make sure you share this video with somebody you think it would help or that would like it. Thank you for all your likes, all your comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.